Hey everyone, today I'm going to be making some cornbread jalapeno poppers. For this recipe, you're going to need a Jiffy corn muffin mix or any other brand that you have on hand. And I'm going to put my recipe in the description so you can go check all the actual measurements out in there. But for this recipe, we'll just kind of make it together and chit chat for a bit because there's a lot of work to do here. So go ahead and just pour in your Jiffy mix into a bowl. And you're going to add 1 egg, and you're going to add some milk, about a 1/3 cup of milk. I already have it measured right there. And so this is what you're going to use, some kind of cheese. It could be any kind of shredded cheese. I'm using whatever I have left on hand. So I have some mozzarella I want to use up, and I'm going to add some mild cheddar. But the recipe really just calls for cheddar, but you can use any kind of cheese that you have on hand that you want to use up. I like to really use up things that I already have in the home. So I have this jalapeno cheddar sausage. It's just 1 sausage link that's left in there. And so I'm also going to chop that up and add it into my mixture. You can add things in like bacon bits, or you can fry up some bacon and add it in there. You can do smoked sausage. You can do anything. I've even seen people do chicken. So whatever you have, pork, anything that you have left over in your fridge on hand that you think will be good with this, you can go ahead and add it. So I'm just chopping up that 1 little sausage link that I have. It's the jalapeno cheddar flavor, so I think it'll go good with this. I usually use bacon, but like I say, you can use anything that you want to use up. This is a very easy recipe. It just takes a while because of all of the prep of getting all the jalapenos cleaned up and all of that. But the actual mixture that you're going to use with the Jiffy mix and all that, it's actually very, very simple. So we're going to make that first. And if you get bored of all my chit chat, go ahead and just fast forward through a little bit here, because I'm going to have to cut up most of these jalapenos and clean them out. So today is kind of, well, it's Friday, but it's kind of one of those days that I'm doing some cleanup. And so I have laundry going in the background, and I have my little vacuum running around. So there's going to be some noises here and there. So the sausage is kind of cut up kind of small because you want it to be little pieces since it's going to go into your jalapeno peppers. So go ahead and mix up your mixture. It's going to be a little bit thicker, more like a Play-Doh kind of consistency. I'll show you how that looks, because the shredded cheese is kind of going to soak up some of that milk as well, or it's just going to be that consistency overall. But it's a good mixture to have because when you put it into your jalapenos, it's easy to kind of mold in there. So this is a pretty easy recipe to do. So just mix that up well. Make sure you get all of that cornbread mixture all mixed in there so that there's nothing dry left in there. It's all one piece. So that's what it looks like. That's the consistency that you're going to look to have. And once you have it all mixed up and it's good, just set it aside. Get yourself a cutting board out. Get yourself your jalapenos. You're going to want about 10 or so jalapenos. You can look at everything in the recipe description, but I had just a bag of jalapenos I need to use up, so I'm going to use up all of those. That's about the size jalapeno I have. They're actually a little bit smaller than I usually get at the grocery store. These are from the grocery store, but they're coming a little bit smaller. But they're still pretty big, as you can see. I mean, they're not tiny, so they're good for filling. That's about the size they are. So just now you're going to go ahead and just slice them. So slice all of your jalapenos in half. That's the next step. I don't know about y'all, but the jalapenos I get at the grocery store aren't actually that spicy. They just have that jalapeno flavor, which I like because I don't really like super spicy. So that's how the jalapenos are here. We do grow our own jalapenos in the summer, but we don't have any more jalapeno plants left right now. The ones that we grow in the summer aren't usually as big, so we don't really ever use them for this recipe. But like I say, the ones from the grocery store are just right because they're not as hot as I don't like that kind of really hot jalapeno taste. whereas the ones that we grow are usually pretty spicy. I don't know. Y'all comment down below if y'all grow jalapenos or peppers. Are yours spicier, the ones that you grow at home or the ones at the store? I find that with tomatoes, it's kind of similar. The ones that we grow at home, they have a really, really good taste. And you can really taste that tomato taste. But the ones from the grocery store don't seem to have that same sort of taste. They're more dull in flavor. All right, so now get yourself like a trash bowl, or I'm using a little measuring cup I just used up. And you're going to use that for trash. Get yourself a spoon, and what you're going to do is you're going to start hollowing out your jalapeno peppers. So I just use a little spoon to do this. If you have one of those little jalapeno tools to get it cleaned up, go ahead and use that. I don't have anything like that. I just use my spoon, and this is the way I've been doing it for a long time, so it works for me. So just go ahead and hollow them out. Get all of that vein out. That's where the spicier parts are. You're going to want to get that out. You're going to want to get out all of the seeds. So go ahead and do that, and if you want, you can wash them even afterwards. I've already washed my peppers on the outside. The inside, I'll just hollow them out and just use them like that. But sometimes washing them out also helps to get rid of some of that spiciness if you don't like it too spicy. So I like to make a lot of things with jalapeno peppers. You'll kind of see on my channel that I do different things with jalapeno peppers. I think I've made a video of my bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, and I have quite a few other recipes around jalapenos where I use cream cheese, and some of them are sweeter, hotter, all kinds of stuff. So I'll be adding those on here. So if you're new here and you like this sort of thing, please consider subscribing and supporting my channel that way. I have a lot more recipes to come to share with you, and I'll link that bacon wrapped jalapeno popper video down below so that y'all can check that one out as well. So I'm in Texas, and this is kind of something that we do a lot, is make jalapeno poppers. They are really good to have as appetizers and to share or bring to potlucks and stuff like that. So yeah, we like to make them. Today is kind of like one of these cleaning days for me, and then I'm going to go do some fun things with my daughter. We're going to go shopping at some shopping center and go get ourselves a big crumble cookie. Then we plan to come back and get ready for a craft show we're doing tomorrow. So we're pretty busy. It's fall time here, and in the fall we do a lot of shows, a lot of fall festivals. My daughter has a little pop-up shop, and we also make crafts and things for it. So I'll link that down below in our links. You can find those in my channel links, I believe. But I'll link those down below. She's got an Instagram shop and all of that. So I'm so proud of her for doing all that. And so I like to support her. And so we're doing that stuff together this weekend. And so for today in the evening, I'm planning to make some pork fajitas. We had pork chops yesterday with some gravy, but I had about 3 pork chops left. So I left those in the fridge marinating with some fajita seasonings, and I've gotten that in the fridge, and I chopped up some bell peppers and onions. So when we get back from the shopping today, we'll go ahead and make our fajita tacos, and we'll have these jalapeno poppers on the side. So these jalapeno poppers are really good just as they are, but you can also dip them in ranch dressing. You can also dip them in sour cream, whatever you like, whatever sounds good to you. If you have like melted nacho cheese, that'll be good too. But they're pretty good just as they are. If you're not wanting to add any kind of meat to your mixture, you can also add just corn. So if you get yourself a can of corn, just drain that can of corn and use the little kernels, or if you have frozen corn, you can use that as well, or fresh. Just go ahead and add that to your cornbread mixture instead of the meat. That's another good way to do it. I've even seen where people have made these cornbread jalapeno poppers and they'll drizzle them in honey. So if you like a little more sweetness, you can also do that, whatever you like. These are just for you to think up whatever you like to do and make it your own. But anyhow, that's what we're having for dinner, and that's why I'm making these. We usually get about a bag of jalapenos each time we go to the grocery store, so I end up making something with jalapenos that week. So this is the jalapeno recipe for this week. So I'm almost gotten all of these cleaned out. It takes a little bit of time to do this, but like I say, overall it's a pretty easy recipe. If I get a chance to, I usually put an ear pod in or something, and I will listen to music while I cook and do these things, and the time just goes by. I like to listen to podcasts and just many different things, and it really helps to do some of these mundane tasks if you kind of get bored doing this. But anyhow, there are my jalapenos. I've cleaned them all out, and so I'm just arranging them a little bit straighter on my cookie sheet, and you can see what they look like there. There's quite a bit of them. When you slice them in half, you know they double, so there is quite a bit of jalapenos there now. So go ahead and get your corn bread mixture that you made out and get yourself a little spoon. I'm using the same spoon that I cleaned the jalapenos out with. I'm trying to use as many or as little dishes as I can, so I don't have so many dishes to clean. All right, so get yourself your jalapeno popper and go ahead and spread some of that mixture in there. Like I say, it's almost like a Play-Doh consistency, so go ahead and just add that in there like that. And you can use your fingers or whatever if you need to kind of smooth it out, or, you know, put it into the place of the jalapeno hole there that's there. So whatever you need to do, get it in there. And then this mixture will do quite a few jalapenos. I'll be able to fill up, I think, all of the jalapenos I have in here. If you do have some leftover cornbread mixture, you can make yourself a little cornbread muffin, or, you know, whatever you want to do with it. You might have a little bit left over depending on the size of your jalapenos and or how many you have. All right, so keep on adding it in there. It'll be a little while before you get it all done. So in this time, you can go ahead and start preheating your oven. You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And they're going to be in there for about 15 minutes. And then after that 15 minutes, you're going to see that I take them out and just sprinkle on a little bit of cheddar cheese to the top, and I add them back into the oven for another 5 minutes. So overall, they'll be in there for about 20 minutes. And if you like your jalapenos a bit softer, you can leave them in there a little bit longer. They'll actually not burn, or the cornbread won't get hard or anything like that. You can leave them in a little bit longer if you start noticing that you want your jalapeno a bit softer. Mine come out just right in 20 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. I know sometimes when I make my bacon wrapped jalapenos, I leave them in there a whole lot longer. So that's why I say if you want them a little bit softer, you can do how you like. Okay, so it's the fall time here. This is also a good little recipe to have alongside your chili. If you do chili, I know that every fall I make a big pot of chili. So that's another kind of fall tradition that we do. And so this is another side thing that you could do. We usually make cornbread with our pot of chili, but you could do the cornbread jalapeno poppers and do something different. What do y'all do for Halloween or for fall? We usually go to like a pumpkin patch and take pictures. And like I say, my daughter and I do like fall festivals and stuff. So we usually get out and do that together. We usually carve pumpkins, but this year I'm not sure if we will or not. I don't think we feel that motivated to do that. I asked my daughter if she wanted to, and she wasn't so sure. So we'll see what we do. It's not my very favorite thing to carve pumpkins, but I do love seeing them, you know, with the candle in them, and it's just a nice thing to have. But I don't like the whole process. It is bit time consuming if you don't enjoy it that much. So I'm not sure if we'll do that this year, but we usually do. We usually carve pumpkins, and we usually go trick-or-treating. But my daughter's a bit older now, and she's actually got a football game that day. She's a cheerleader, So most likely we won't do anything for that. We'll just do something at home. But what I like to do in this fall time and Halloween time is make different recipes and things. So there they are, ready to go on the cookie sheet. You can see they're all filled with the cornbread mixture. It filled them all up and I didn't have any left, so that worked out perfectly. And so you don't need to like oil your sheet or anything like that. You can just put them directly on there. Your oven at 350 degrees, and then now they're just ready to go on in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my jalapeno poppers in. And so you're going to just put them there in the center and for 15 minutes. And then go ahead and take them out, like I say, after those 15 minutes and sprinkle some cheddar cheese or whatever cheese you got. And then another 5 minutes, and this is how they come out looking. You can leave them in a little bit longer, but this is how I like them. So that's what they look like. They are so yummy. I put one on a plate here so that you can see. They are really, really good to have as a side with your other dish, whatever you have for this fall weather. So thank you so much for coming along for this recipe. I will catch you on the next one.